Award-winning portrait photographer Martin Scholler, along with 12-time Olympic swimming medalist Dara Torres, have come together to light on living with psoriasis with the Show More of You campaign. The campaign aims to celebrate the beauty and empowerment of those living with the skin condition and to also educate about psoriatic arthritis, as up to 30% of those with psoriasis may eventually develop that condition. I have Dara joining me now, along with Dr. Shane Chapman, Section Chief of Dermatology at Dartmouth-Hitchcock Medical Center. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, Dara, when and how did you first start experiencing symptoms of psoriasis, and how did it impact your life?
Well, when I was training for the '92 Olympics back in the early '90s, I started to notice red, patchy flakes on my elbows and on the back of my lower back. And I didn't really know what it was. I just thought maybe the chlorine was irritating me, so I let it go. But after about 2 months, it just became very untolerating. I just couldn't deal with it. So I went to my dermatologist, and that's when I was first diagnosed with psoriasis. Now, how it affected me was the fact that my business suit is a swimsuit, and so when I go to the pool, everyone can see me. And I was very embarrassed that I had these red patches on me, and I didn't know if people would think, oh, if I touch her, am I going to get this? Or if I go in the pool, am I going to, get this disease? So it was kind of embarrassing. And I'm so excited to team with Otezla and Celgene for the Show More of You campaign, because I really want to educate people that you need to be comfortable in your own skin. It's not something you can catch from someone else, and just to know that you need to follow your dreams and not let this get in the way of what you want to do.
Absolutely. Now tell us a little bit more about the campaign and also your experience with getting photographed by the photographer Martin Scholler alongside with others who are living with the same condition.
I was so honored to be a part of this campaign and be photographed by Martin Scholler. What a wonderful photographer. We had such a great time there. We got to do these wonderful photos. It was very casual. I had the boombox going, lots of fun music. But also, there were 4 other people there who are suffering from psoriatic disease. And we got to share our stories and bond. And we talked a lot about the showmoreofyou.com website, because we want people to upload their photos, share their stories, and people who don't really know a lot about psoriatic disease can go on there and learn more about the disease. So it was really just a wonderful day and a wonderful experience.
That's great to hear. Now, doctor, tell us more about psoriasis and how that, as well as psoriatic arthritis, are related.
Sure. Psoriasis is the skin component of psoriatic disease. It's an inflammation. It's not an infection. It's not a cancer. There's a lot of misinformation out there, I think. What happens, just as Dara described, is patients develop these large, thick, scaly plaques. They can develop them all over the body, but usually they start off on the elbows and knees, and sometimes in visible locations. The psoriatic arthritis develops in 30% of those patients that have psoriasis or the skin disease. And those patients develop joint inflammation, painful joints, usually in the small joints of the fingers and toes, sometimes the larger joints in the body and in the back as well. And we lump those together and call it psoriatic disease. This is an inflammation. It's, again, not an infection. It's not a cancer. It's nothing that is contagious. But the public doesn't really always understand that.
Absolutely. Now, we talked about some of the symptoms and the misconceptions. What are some ways that people with psoriasis or psoriatic arthritis can manage the disease?
Sure. So most patients these days would love to manage things without taking medication, and you can reduce some of those triggers in your life to manage the disease a little better. One way to do that is to reduce stress in your life. Sometimes that means exercising or just avoiding stressful situations. Certain medications can also trigger psoriasis, but in most patients, they're not able to manage their disease without medication. So patients with psoriasis these days and psoriatic arthritis have many medications available to them that we didn't have 20 years ago. One of those medications is apremilast or Otezla. It's an oral medication. It's not an injection. It's very safe. Patients do really well on it. They really like the effect of the medication, but it's also very safe. It requires no laboratory monitoring. So this is another avenue. The showmoreofyou.com campaign is another avenue out there to tell patients that their psoriatic disease is treatable, it is manageable. Sometimes you need to take medication, But if they have questions about it, they can go to the website or they can go see their doctor.
And what message do the two of you have for others who are living with psoriatic disease and those who may have a loved one or a friend who has it?
Don't let this disease get in the way of following your dreams. And that's what I learned, and that's why I wanted to team up with Otezla and Celgene, is to get that message across, that you shouldn't be embarrassed, you should feel comfortable in your own skin.
I agree. Go to the website, showmoreofyou.com, and you see people there that are both successful athletes, Olympic athletes, but also what I would say normal people like you and I that have psoriasis, and everybody can live a full, complete life. There's no reason not to go see your doctor and ask them about treatment and management of their psoriasis.
Great advice. Thank you so much for that. And again, for more information on the campaign as well as living with psoriasis or psoriatic arthritis, visit www.showmoreofyou.com. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.